The sensation of awakening from cryosleep was never quite as smooth as science fiction portrayed. It was a gradual emergence from the depths of unconsciousness, a transition from oblivion to the faint stirrings of awareness. For Solara Novak, it began with a sensation akin to floating in a tranquil sea, only to be rudely interrupted by the shrill alarms blaring through the hibernation chamber. Disorientation swept over her as she struggled to open her eyes against the persistent fog of grogginess. The sterile white lights of the chamber flickered hesitantly, casting eerie shadows on the rows of hibernation pods lining the walls. It took several moments for her mind to register the gravity of the situation. The alarms were not part of a routine awakening sequence. With trembling hands, Solara unstrapped herself from the pod and stumbled onto unsteady feet. The silence that followed the abrupt cessation of the alarms was deafening. Where were the other crew members? Why was the ship's AI not guiding her through the post-sleep procedures? A quick glance at the digital readout confirmed her worst fears. The Aurora was off course, drifting farther away from the designated trajectory towards New Eden, their intended colony planet. Panic threatened to overwhelm her, but years of rigorous training kicked in, tempering her fear with a steely resolve. Navigating the deserted corridors of the starship, Solara's footsteps echoed like whispers in the void. Every corner turned, every door opened revealed no sign of life, only the hum of malfunctioning equipment and the occasional flicker of malfunctioning lights. It was as if the Aurora had become a ghost ship adrift in the cosmos. As she reached the bridge, Solara's heart sank further. The central command station, once bustling with activity and the constant hum of operational consoles, lay eerily silent. Pulsating holographic displays showed fragmented data streams and error messages, indicating critical failures in navigation and life support systems. With a sinking feeling, Solara realized she was truly alone, the sole awake soul aboard a vessel hurtling towards the unknown. Gathering her thoughts, she began her quest for answers, starting with the ship's log and communication logs, hoping to uncover clues amidst the digital debris. The journey had only just begun, and Solara Novak knew that every step she took would bring her closer to unraveling the mysteries that surrounded her solitude and the fate of the Aurora. In the heart of the Aurora, Solara delved deeper into the labyrinthine corridors that seemed to stretch endlessly through the starship. Each step echoed hollowly, a stark reminder of her solitary existence aboard the drifting vessel. The ship's log offered little solace. Entries ceased abruptly weeks ago, leaving gaps in the timeline of events that led to her awakening. Technical logs revealed sporadic malfunctions, minor at first, then escalating to critical failures in navigation and life support systems. It was as if the Aurora had fallen victim to a silent assailant, its systems systematically crippled in an orchestrated chaos. Solara's search for clues led her to the engineering deck, where the rhythmic throb of machinery masked the eerie silence that pervaded the rest of the ship. Amidst banks of flickering monitors and dimly lit consoles, she discovered traces of desperate attempts to restore functionality, hastily written notes scrawled on maintenance logs, diagrams hastily sketched in a rush against time. One message stood out amidst the chaos, its digital imprint glowing faintly against the dimly lit screen. All crew to stasis pods. Emergency protocol initiated. The lack of further detail left more questions than answers. Why had emergency protocols been activated? Where were the other crew members now? Solara's mind raced with possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. Had there been a catastrophic event that forced the crew into stasis? Or was there something more insidious at play, hidden beneath layers of malfunctioning technology and silent corridors? As she pored over the logs, a faint noise caught her attention, a whisper of static from the communication console nearby. With a sense of urgency, Solara navigated the fragmented interface, attempting to establish a connection to the outside world. The screen flickered to life, displaying a distorted image of what appeared to be a distant star cluster, far beyond the reach of the aurora's current trajectory. Static crackled through the speakers before abruptly giving way to a garbled transmission. Ora, respond. This is Captain Rennick of the Celestia. Repeat, Aurora, do you read? The voice was faint, distorted by the vast distances of space, yet unmistakably human. Heart racing, Solara keyed in a response, her voice betraying a mix of relief and apprehension. This is Solara Novak of the Aurora. Captain Rennick, we've encountered unforeseen circumstances. The ship is off course, and I seem to be the only one awake. Silence greeted her words, punctuated only by the crackling of static. For a moment, Solara feared the worst, that the transmission had been lost amidst the cosmic void. Then, a reply came through, clearer this time, though tinged with concern. Understood, Solara. We'll establish a rendezvous point. Hold tight. Celestia out. With renewed hope flickering in her heart, Solara closed the transmission and set about recalibrating the Aurora's navigation systems. If there was a chance to correct their course and reunite with the Celestia, she would seize it with unwavering determination. As the ship hummed to life beneath her touch, Solara couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Shadows seemed to dance at the periphery of her vision, fleeting glimpses of movement that vanished as quickly as they appeared. Was it merely her imagination, or was there something lurking in the depths of the Aurora? With each passing moment, the mystery deepened, and Solara Novak knew that the answers she sought lay buried within the heart of the drifting starship. Determined to uncover the truth, she steeled herself for the challenges that lay ahead, knowing that her journey had only just begun. Days blurred into nights aboard the Aurora, as Solara Novak wrestled with the enigma that shrouded the starship. The sporadic communications with Captain Rennick of the Celestia provided a lifeline amidst the solitude, but questions continued to gnaw at her mind like relentless predators in the dark. Navigational recalibrations yielded marginal improvements, nudging the Aurora closer to its intended trajectory. Yet, the unsettling sensation of being watched persisted, a phantom presence that eluded her grasp whenever she turned to confront it. Shadows darted at the edge of her vision, vanishing into the recesses of the ship's labyrinthine corridors before she could discern their origin. In her quest for answers, Solara ventured deeper into the bowels of the starship, exploring sections that had remained untouched since the crew entered stasis. Each compartment held echoes of the past, personal effects left behind in haste, reminders of lives interrupted by the chaos that now held the Aurora in its grip. One particular area drew her attention, the auxiliary control room, where emergency overrides and backup systems lay dormant behind sealed blast doors. The air within was stale, tinged with the metallic tang of disuse. Solara approached the central console cautiously, fingers tracing the contours of a dusty control panel. As she activated the system, a holographic display flickered to life, casting an ethereal glow across the dimly lit chamber. Rows of data scrolled across the screen, revealing a sequence of events that unfolded in the final moments before the crew entered stasis. Emergency protocols had indeed been initiated, triggered by an unidentified anomaly in the ship's primary navigation core. Solara's brow furrowed as she reviewed the logs, searching for any clue that might explain the sudden silence that engulfed the Aurora. Fragmented recordings captured frantic voices, snippets of conversation that hinted at escalating tensions and desperate attempts to contain the unfolding crisis. Among the chaos, one name recurred with unsettling frequency: Dr. Marcus Voss, the ship's chief scientist and a pioneer in cryosleep technology. His absence from the logs raised more questions than answers. Had he been responsible for the anomaly, or had he fallen victim to its unforeseen consequences? A sudden clang echoed through the control room, startling Solara from her reverie. Instinctively, she spun around, eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. The silence that followed was palpable, broken only by the faint hum of the ship's dormant systems. With cautious steps, Solara approached the source of the disturbance, a maintenance hatch at the far end of the room, its latch jutting out at an odd angle. As she peered through the narrow opening, a flicker of movement caught her eye, a flash of metallic glint amidst the darkness beyond. Heart racing, Solara reached for her flashlight, casting its beam into the depths of the maintenance shaft. What she discovered sent a shiver down her spine, a makeshift shelter fashioned from salvaged parts, its walls adorned with cryptic symbols and faded photographs of the Aurora crew. Among the artifacts, a handwritten note stood out, its ink smeared with age yet legible enough to decipher. They watch from the stars. Trust no one. The revelation hit Solara like a thunderbolt. Someone had been hiding aboard the Aurora, evading detection while manipulating its systems from the shadows. Was this the elusive presence she had sensed all along, the phantom that haunted her every step? As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, Solara realized that her journey was far from over. With newfound determination, she vowed to uncover the identity of the intruder and unravel the conspiracy that threatened not only the Aurora, but the fragile hope of colonizing a distant world. The whispering void of space held secrets darker than she could have imagined, and Solara Novak was determined to confront them head-on, even if it meant facing the shadows lurking within. The discovery of the hidden compartment within the Aurora left Solara Novak grappling with a maelstrom of emotions, suspicion, paranoia, and an unsettling sense of vulnerability. As she meticulously combed through the makeshift shelter, each artifact revealed fragments of a puzzle that refused to yield its secrets. Among the faded photographs and cryptic symbols, Solara unearthed scraps of correspondence, encrypted messages exchanged in a language foreign to the standard protocols of interstellar communication. The sender remained anonymous, yet the urgency of their missives hinted at a clandestine agenda that ran counter to the Aurora's mission. With a heavy heart, Solara confronted the possibility that someone within the crew had betrayed their oath, jeopardizing the fragile equilibrium that sustained life aboard the starship. Dr. Marcus Voss's absence from the ship's logs loomed large in her mind, his expertise in cryosleep technology casting a shadow of doubt over his role in the unfolding crisis. Driven by a relentless need for clarity, Solara sought counsel in the ship's archives, scouring medical records and personnel files for any trace of Dr. Voss's activities in the weeks leading up to the emergency protocols. What she discovered deepened the mystery: discrepancies in his research logs, anomalies in the distribution of medical supplies, and unauthorized access to restricted areas of the Aurora. Each revelation painted a portrait of a man consumed by ambition, driven to unlock the secrets of cryosleep at any cost. Had Dr. Voss's experiments veered into dangerous territory, triggering the catastrophic event that now threatened the Aurora and its crew? As Solara pieced together the fragments of Dr. Voss's trail, a nagging suspicion took root that the answer to the ship's descent into chaos lay not in external forces, but in the shadows that lurked within. The hidden compartment, with its enigmatic symbols and coded messages, whispered of conspiracies woven into the fabric of the starship itself. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, one truth remained steadfast: Solara's unwavering resolve to safeguard the Aurora and its mission. With each passing hour, she drew closer to unraveling the mystery that threatened to unravel the fragile threads of hope that bound them to New Eden. Outside the confines of the ship, the star-strewn void beckoned, a reminder of the vastness of space and the insignificance of their plight in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. Solara's reflection in the viewport mirrored the turmoil within her soul, a lone figure adrift amidst the uncertainty of the universe, yet anchored by a steadfast determination to uncover the truth. As she prepared to confront the shadows of doubt that plagued her every step, Solara Novak knew that the answers she sought lay buried within the heart of the Aurora. The journey ahead would test not only her courage, but also her resilience in the face of betrayal and the relentless pursuit of redemption. Solara Novak's quest for answers aboard the Aurora intensified as she delved deeper into the tangled web of secrets and deception that enveloped the starship. With each revelation, the boundaries between friend and foe blurred, leaving her to navigate a treacherous landscape of uncertainty. The encrypted messages found within the hidden compartment continued to haunt her thoughts. Their cryptic nature hinted at a covert alliance operating from within, manipulating events to serve a hidden agenda. Solara's suspicions fell on the missing Dr. Marcus Voss, whose shadow loomed large over the ship's descent into chaos. As she retraced Dr. Voss's footsteps through the ship's archives, a pattern began to emerge: anomalies in the cryosleep chambers, discrepancies in the allocation of resources, and unauthorized modifications to the Aurora's systems. It became clear that his experiments had crossed ethical boundaries, driven by a desperate ambition to unravel the mysteries of cryosleep technology. Yet, amidst the chaos, a glimmer of hope emerged, a fragment of data recovered from the ship's surveillance feeds. Grainy footage captured a figure moving stealthily through the corridors, masked in darkness, but unmistakably human. Solara studied the footage intently, recognizing the distinct silhouette of Dr. Voss. Armed with newfound evidence, Solara pieced together a timeline of events leading up to the emergency protocols. Dr. Voss's experiments had unleashed unintended consequences, destabilizing the Aurora's delicate balance and placing the entire crew at risk. But as she sought to confront Dr. Voss and hold him accountable for his actions, another revelation surfaced: a distress signal intercepted from an unknown source, emanating from the depths of space. The message was fragmented, distorted by the vast distances it had traversed, yet its urgency was unmistakable. Against her better judgment, Solara activated the ship's communication array, broadcasting a response into the cosmic void. "This is Solara Novak of the Aurora. We read you. Please respond." Minutes stretched into hours as she waited for a reply, her heart pounding with anticipation. Just as doubt threatened to engulf her, a faint crackle of static broke through the silence, followed by a voice, faint, distant, but filled with undeniable relief. "Solara, this is Captain Rennick of the Celestia. We've been searching for your signal. Hold tight. We're en route to your coordinates." Tears welled in Solara's eyes as she realized that she was not alone in her struggle. The crew of the Celestia had not abandoned her to the whims of fate, but had forged a lifeline across the vast expanse of space. With renewed hope coursing through her veins, Solara prepared for the final confrontation with Dr. Voss. The truth awaited, buried beneath layers of deceit and betrayal, but she was determined to unearth it and ensure that justice prevailed aboard the Aurora. As the starship hurtled towards its rendezvous with destiny, Solara Novak braced herself for the revelations that awaited, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit amidst the infinite mysteries of the cosmos. As the Aurora edged closer to the rendezvous point with the Celestia, Solara Novak prepared herself for the inevitable confrontation with Dr. Marcus Voss. The revelations unearthed in her relentless pursuit of truth had unveiled a web of deceit woven into the very fabric of their mission. The corridors of the starship seemed to echo with a palpable tension, a silent testament to the turmoil that simmered beneath its sleek exterior. Solara's footsteps echoed hollowly as she navigated the familiar pathways, each stride bringing her closer to the heart of the conspiracy that threatened to unravel everything they had strived to achieve. In the dimly lit confines of the research lab, where Dr. Voss had conducted his clandestine experiments, Solara found herself face to face with the remnants of his ambitions. The monitors flickered to life at her approach, displaying fragmented data feeds and incomplete simulations that hinted at the scope of his research. But it was the sight of Dr. Voss himself, standing amidst the disarray of his makeshift laboratory, that sent a chill down Solara's spine. His gaze was as cold and calculating as the void of space itself, betraying no hint of remorse for the chaos he had wrought upon the Aurora and its crew. "Solara." He greeted her with a measured tone, his voice devoid of emotion. "I see you've uncovered my little sanctuary. Impressive." Solara clenched her fists, steeling herself against the surge of anger that threatened to consume her. "What have you done, Dr. Voss? Why did you sabotage the Aurora?" A fleeting expression of amusement crossed Dr. Voss's features before being replaced by a mask of indifference. "Sabotage implies malicious intent, Solara. I assure you, my actions were driven by necessity, the pursuit of knowledge, the quest for progress. Progress at the cost of lives?" Solara shot back, her voice trembling with restrained fury. "You jeopardized the entire mission, endangered everyone aboard this ship." Dr. Voss's eyes narrowed slightly, a flicker of defiance sparking within their depths. "You speak as though the ends do not justify the means, Solara. Sometimes sacrifices must be made for the greater good." "The greater good?" Solara scoffed bitterly, gesturing to the chaos around them. "There is nothing good about deception and betrayal. You betrayed your oath, your fellow crew members, all for your own selfish ambitions." For a moment, silence hung heavy between them, punctuated only by the faint hum of the ship's systems. Dr. Voss regarded Solara with a mix of resignation and defiance, as though grappling with the weight of his actions. "You may not understand now, Solara," he began quietly, voice tinged with regret. "But the secrets I uncovered, they hold the key to humanity's survival in this unforgiving universe. The Aurora was meant to be a beacon of hope, a vessel of discovery. My experiments were necessary to ensure our future." Solara shook her head, disbelief mingling with anger. "You took that decision upon yourself, Dr. Voss. You played with lives, with destinies." Before Dr. Voss could respond, a sudden jolt rocked the Aurora, sending both of them stumbling against the laboratory consoles. Alarms blared overhead, signaling a critical breach in the ship's hull. "We're under attack," Solara exclaimed, eyes wide with alarm. Dr. Voss's expression hardened as he swiftly accessed the emergency protocols. "It seems our time for debate is over, Solara. We must ensure the Aurora survives this encounter." As they raced against time to stabilize the ship's defenses, Solara's thoughts raced. Amidst the chaos and betrayal, a single question burned in her mind: who had orchestrated this assault, and what did they stand to gain from plunging the Aurora into further turmoil? With Dr. Voss at her side, their uneasy alliance forged in the crucible of crisis, Solara braced herself for the battle that awaited. The Aurora had become a battleground for competing ideologies, where truth and deception blurred into a deadly dance amidst the stars. The Aurora trembled under the onslaught, its hull reverberating with the impact of enemy fire. Solara Novak and Dr. Marcus Voss navigated the labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps echoing with urgency as they raced against time to repel the assailants and secure the ship's vital systems. "Where are they coming from?" Solara shouted over the cacophony of alarms, her voice strained with determination. Dr. Voss's fingers flew across the console, accessing tactical feeds that displayed the enemy's approach. "Unknown origin, but they're targeting our propulsion systems. We need to buy time until the Celestia arrives." With grim resolve, Solara followed Dr. Voss's lead, directing the ship's defensive measures to intercept the incoming threats. The starboard viewport shimmered with the brilliance of laser fire as the Aurora unleashed its countermeasures, forcing the enemy vessels into a desperate retreat. As the battle raged, Solara stole a moment to reflect on the events that had brought them to this precipice. Dr. Voss's revelations had shattered her faith in the mission, yet amidst the chaos, she clung to a glimmer of hope, the belief that their journey to New Eden held the promise of a new beginning, despite the shadows that threatened to engulf them. The arrival of the Celestia signaled a turning point in their struggle. Captain Rennick's voice crackled over the comm system, a beacon of reassurance amidst the chaos. "Aurora, this is Celestia. We're approaching your coordinates. Hold tight." Relief washed over Solara as she watched the Celestia glide into view, its sleek form a stark contrast to the battered Aurora. The two starships maneuvered in tandem, forging a defensive perimeter against further incursions. Captain Rennick's voice echoed through the calm once more, his tone grave yet resolute. "We'll escort you to New Eden, Aurora. Together, we'll uncover the truth behind this attack and ensure justice is served." Solara exchanged a glance with Dr. Voss, their mutual understanding unspoken yet palpable. The revelations of betrayal and deception had tested their resolve, but in the face of adversity, they had forged an unlikely alliance, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit amidst the vastness of space. As the Aurora and Celestia charted a course towards their shared destiny, Solara found solace in the camaraderie of their crewmates, united in their determination to overcome the challenges that lay ahead. The echoes of hope reverberated through the corridors of the Aurora, a testament to the indomitable spirit that drove them to reach for the stars. With each passing moment, Solara Novak knew that their journey was far from over. The mysteries that had plagued them, from Dr. Voss's experiments to the orchestrated attack, still loomed large, waiting to be unraveled. But amidst the uncertainty, one truth remained steadfast, that together they would forge a path towards a brighter future, guided by the echoes of hope that resonated within their hearts. With the Celestia by their side, the Aurora charted a steady course towards New Eden, their destination bathed in the soft glow of distant stars. The alliance forged in the crucible of crisis held firm, uniting Solara Novak, Dr. Marcus Voss, and their respective crews in a shared pursuit of redemption and discovery. Amidst the quiet hum of the starship's engines, Solara found herself drawn to the viewport once more, mesmerized by the cosmic tapestry that unfolded before her. The vast expanse of space stretched endlessly, a reminder of the infinite possibilities that awaited them on New Eden's uncharted shores. Dr. Voss stood beside her, his gaze fixed upon the distant horizon with a mix of contemplation and remorse. "I never intended for things to unfold this way, Solara," he admitted quietly, his voice carrying the weight of regret. "My ambitions blinded me to the consequences of my actions." Solara turned to him, her expression softening with empathy. "We all make mistakes, Dr. Voss. What matters now is how we move forward." The scientist nodded solemnly, a newfound resolve gleaming in his eyes. "Indeed. I will do whatever it takes to make amends for the harm I've caused." As the journey progressed, Solara and Dr. Voss worked tirelessly alongside Captain Rennick and his crew to unravel the mysteries that had plagued the Aurora. Together, they sifted through the remnants of Dr. Voss's research, piecing together fragments of data that hinted at breakthroughs in cryosleep technology and the potential for new discoveries on New Eden. But amidst the pursuit of knowledge, Solara found herself drawn to quieter moments aboard the Aurora, shared meals with newfound friends, conversations that bridged the gaps between their respective journeys, and the bonds forged in the face of adversity. On the eve of their arrival at New Eden, Solara stood on the bridge of the Aurora, anticipation and uncertainty mingling within her heart. The planet loomed large on the view screen, its verdant surface a beacon of promise amidst the endless void of space. Captain Rennick's voice broke through her thoughts, filled with a quiet reverence. "We've made it, Solara. New Eden awaits." Solara nodded, a smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "Thank you, Captain, for everything." As the Aurora descended towards the planet's surface, Solara felt a surge of optimism wash over her. The journey had tested their courage, challenged their beliefs, and forged bonds that transcended the boundaries of space and time. In the days that followed, Solara and Dr. Voss worked tirelessly alongside their fellow crew members to establish a foothold on New Eden's fertile soil. The planet offered untold opportunities for exploration and discovery, a testament to humanity's indomitable spirit and unyielding quest for knowledge. As Solara stood beneath the canopy of New Eden's alien sky, she reflected upon the trials and triumphs that had brought them to this moment. The Aurora had become more than a vessel of steel and circuits. It was a symbol of resilience, unity, and the enduring hope that guided them towards a future filled with promise. And as the sun set over New Eden's horizon, casting its golden light upon the horizon, Solara knew that their journey was far from over. Together, they would venture into the unknown, driven by a shared commitment to forge a new destiny amidst the stars.